I saw Mortal Kombat on opening day here in Thailand, and I'm going to share my initial impressions in this episode of Kung Fu Geek Reviews.
Get over here!
What's up, y'all? My name is Prince, and this is Kung Fu Geek Reviews, where I'm talking about the new Mortal Kombat movie that just came out last week. Now, this will be a non-spoiler review, so if you want to hear what I have to say about everything, check back in a few weeks after the movie is debuted in the US. So if you guys don't know me from my Star Wars breakdowns over on my other channel, then I'll be talking about the hero's journey and all of that stuff in my full review. So maybe you should enable the notifications so you don't miss that full review coming next week. So the first question you probably want to know is if I liked it and if it's a good movie. And I'll get that out of the way for you right now and say that I thought that this movie was dope. Now, I feel like it's doing a disservice to the movie if I say that it's a good video game movie, because this is an action movie. It's a martial arts movie, and it just happens to be set in the Mortal Kombat video game universe. Now, as far as the previous two Mortal Kombat films from the 90s, I feel like everything about this movie was better with the exception of Liu Kang. Now, I thought Ludi Lin played a great Liu Kang, but his character felt different from Robin Cho's Liu Kang. It was kind of like this Liu Kang is gonna grow up to be the Robin Cho Liu Kang from the old movies. Well, except his fighting, it looks a whole lot cooler in this movie. Now, if there's a sequel, I'm gonna expect Liu Kang to be even better, but I'm gonna hold off on the sequel talk for now. My point about this being more than just a good video game movie is that it really feels like a modern martial arts movie. And I mean martial arts movie like the Black Belt Theater, Shaw's Brother, old school type stuff with this supernatural element because, well, it's set in the Mortal Kombat universe. Now, from start to finish, it's just straight up action. And I literally mean from the very beginning. The prologue to the movie, which I'm not going to spoil, will have you sitting on the edge of your seat. The next thing I want to comment on is the role of the villains in this movie. Like with most of these types of stories, it's really the villains who drive the story forward. It's like the bad guys do something in pursuit of their goals and the heroes get caught up in that situation and are forced to respond. This movie does a good job letting the villains really stand out and drive the story forward. As a matter of fact, don't be surprised at all if you walk out of the movie theater remembering that Kano seems to have had the best lines.
Kano wins, you fucking beauty.
And Sub-Zero had the most memorable scenes. Now, speaking of Sub-Zero, Joe Taslim really showed out in this movie. He's had a chance to put his skills on the spotlight on the Warriors series, but he took things to a whole new level in Mortal Kombat. Like the Sub-Zero and Scorpion rivalry, it's like a huge driving force behind this particular story. And I don't want to say anything more because I feel like I'm going to spoil some things. But if you're at all familiar with Scorpion and Sub-Zero, then you know, look, man, they got some serious beef. You'll see how that all plays out. And like I said, if you like those two characters, you'll probably really enjoy this movie. Now, there's more that I want to say here, but I'm going to save it for my full review once the movie's out in the US. So again, check back for my more detailed review coming next week. The last point I'm going to touch on is the role of the new guy, Cole Young, played by my dude, Lewis Tan. Cole is our main character. He's a journeyman MMA fighter who goes from being a world champion to doing local fights for a few $100. The trailers tell that he was born with the Mortal Kombat dragon symbol as a birthmark, and I'll tell you more, that he's connected to 3 classic Mortal Kombat characters. A lot of the theories that I've read about his character are wrong, but they were right about the possible connection to at least 2 of those characters. So that puts Cole in this interesting place because he's part of this world that he knows nothing about when he's pulled into the story. Sonya Blade and Jax obviously know something about what's going on, and they are the ones who have to explain what Mortal Kombat is to Cole and to the audience. So this is why earlier I was saying that it works as an action movie and a video game movie, because Cole, he's like us in the audience. Imagine playing like a role-playing RPG version of Mortal Kombat and you're this brand new hero, but you know nothing about what's happening. That's how Cole's character functions in this story. Now, there's a few parts of the movie that sort of drag because, well, there's not much action happening. It's just a lot of dialogue about what's going on and what Mortal Kombat is. And that's there to fill Cole and the audience in on what's going on, what it's all about, and like, where is this story going? So this is for the people who maybe haven't played Mortal Kombat or they're not at all familiar with the story. Fans of Mortal Kombat might find those parts a little bit boring, but that's why those parts are there. That's why they work for the movie. But anyway, overall, it's pretty obvious that I enjoyed the movie. The action was amazing. There were all the things we know Mortal Kombat to be: crazy martial arts fights and fatalities. Yes, there are fatalities. You probably will jump out of your seat when you see some of them. And I almost spoiled my favorite one, but I'll wait, let you guys wait and see it.
Flawless victory.
But anyway, I'm not going to tell you who dies, even though like one of the actors may have spoiled something about somebody that dies. But I will say that if there's a sequel, Shang Tsung basically leaves the door open for anyone who does die to return. So with that being said, get out to the theaters or on HBO streaming service and please support this movie. Like I said, I didn't really play the Mortal Kombat games, but I'm a big fan of the movies. Heck, I mean, one of the first things I did when I got to Thailand was visit where the Temple of Light scenes were filmed in Ayutthaya for the first Mortal Kombat movie with my man Liu Kang and Raiden. So be sure to check back for my full Mortal Kombat movie review where I can actually talk about the story. And look, let me know if you like these kind of geeky type videos about martial arts movies and TV shows. I wanted to do this on my Star Wars channel for years, but folks only wanted to hear about Luke Skywalker and lightsabers. And I mean, I got into Star Wars because it was wuxia made for the West. But I guess at this point, I'd just rather talk about wuxia with you guys who love martial arts. But anyway, that's all I got for this one. So y'all keep on breathing and I'll see you on the next video.